You think you're buying real butter? But what's hiding in your fridge could be a cleverly disguised imposter designed to mislead you. Hold on. Before you grab that stick of butter from Walmart or Kroger again, you absolutely have to see this. I've spent over 50 hours digging into ingredient lists, legal definitions, and publicly available reports on the quality of dairy products, focusing on the 7 most popular butter products sold in American supermarkets. What I uncovered is deeply misleading. Millions of families buy these products every week, believing they're making a healthy, traditional choice. 5 of them are nutritionally inferior, but 2 are outstanding. And the brands that actually deliver on quality will surprise you. If you're new here, welcome. This channel exists to explain what food labels hide and what marketing tries to distract you from. In the United States, butter isn't a vague term. It's clearly defined by law. Real butter must be labeled as butter and must contain at least 80% milk fat. The ingredient list should be short and honest. Pasteurized cream. That's it. If salt has been added, it will be listed separately. Anything else is no longer pure butter, no matter what the packaging looks like. And yet, when you walk into the grocery store, you see dozens of yellow sticks that look identical. They share the same size, the same color, and the same shelf space. The packaging is covered in images of cows, green fields, idyllic farms, and wooden butter churns. Your brain is trained to assume these are all just variations of the same product. And that assumption is exactly what manufacturers are counting on. Now I'm going to show you 5 products you should probably avoid. Number 1, Country Crock's Churn Style, sold at both Walmart and Target. This product is one of the most common sources of confusion. It sits right next to the real butter, often priced at around $2 or $3. The package design intentionally uses traditional dairy themes. But when you flip it over and read the ingredients, the reality becomes clear. This is a blended product, engineered to look like butter while being cheaper to produce. It contains a mix of oils and buttermilk, which dilutes the actual milk fat content far below the standard for real butter. Legally, this doesn't qualify as pure butter at all. This is not real butter. Number 2, Land O'Lakes, butter with canola oil. Land O'Lakes is a trusted American dairy brand, and that trust creates certain expectations. The front of the tub says, quote, 4, suggesting top quality, but the fine print reveals, quote, 5. This addition is deliberate. It lowers the milk fat percentage below the 80% legal minimum for pure butter. This product spreads more easily than real butter, not because it's higher quality, but because its composition has been altered by adding liquid oil. It's a manufactured dairy spread designed to meet a specific price point and a preference for a softer texture. It is not traditional butter. Number 3, Great Values, quote, 6. This is the quote 7 sold at Kroger. Simple Truth is the store's own brand, and they often use premium-looking packaging. The label prominently displays the words extra butter, which, according to regulations, should mean a high-quality butter product. However, the phrase with milk appears in much smaller print. When you look at the ingredients list, you'll find pasteurized cream and milk. The milk fat content is only 73%, not the required 82%. This product has been intentionally designed to look like a premium butter, but costs significantly less to produce. It's softer right out of the fridge and spreads easily, but it's not nutritionally equivalent to real butter. This is not real butter. Number 4, Land O'Lakes, quote, 10, sold at Walmart. Land O'Lakes is a huge national brand for dairy products. The packaging uses those familiar golden tones, traditional fonts, and graphics meant to suggest authenticity and farm-fresh quality. But the ingredients list reveals the same old trick. It contains pasteurized cream, canola oil, and milk. The milk fat content is far below the standard. This is a blend of butter and oil, not pure butter. It's sold right next to the real butter for a similar price and is visually indistinguishable if you don't take a moment to read the label on the back. A lot of shoppers never even notice the difference. This is not pure butter. Number 5, any quote 11 or quote 12 that contains less than 82% milk fat. You need to avoid these products. They cleverly use the word, quote, 13 on the front label, which is especially misleading given our long-standing traditions and expectations for what butter is. Adding salt or milk is perfectly acceptable in butter, but only if the milk fat content remains at or above that 82% mark. Many of these products use these additions as a way to lower the milk fat content below the legal threshold, all while giving you the impression that it's still genuine butter. The front of the package tells one story, but the nutrition label on the back tells the real one. Most shoppers only ever see the front. Now let's tackle a common question. Why does any of this even matter? It matters because the composition of the fats you eat directly impacts your health, inflammation levels, cholesterol balance, and even how full you feel after a meal. Real butter is a natural milk fat with a known structure that humans have been consuming for centuries. These buttery spreads, on the other hand, are engineered products manufactured to meet specific price points and consumer preferences for texture. They are not nutritionally equivalent, no matter how similar they look. Here's how you can protect yourself in less than 3 seconds. Completely ignore the front of the package. The entire purpose of that facade is to sell you something, not to inform you. Turn the product over and read the ingredients list. If the list contains exactly one ingredient, pasteurized cream, you are holding real butter. If you see added milk, water, or any phrase like with milk or with canola oil, put it back. Next, check the fat content. Real butter has at least 82%. 82%, anything with a lower value is not the real deal. It automatically fails the ultimate test of being pure butter, completely regardless of the fancy deceptive name plastered right across the front of the label. As a general rule of thumb, genuine high-quality butter is usually wrapped tightly in aluminum foil wrappers or special parchment paper. A lot of those sneaky dairy blends and cheap spreads are sold in very similar packaging, so this is not an entirely foolproof rule to follow. However, it definitely comes in handy when you are quickly scanning the massive grocery assortment on the supermarket shelf. So, which of these numerous products actually offers truly excellent quality for your hard-earned money? After carefully analyzing absolutely everything available, the first truly excellent product on our list is Tillamook Extra Creamy Unsalted Butter with 82% fat. When a respected brand like Tillamook produces real, honest butter without any weird modifications, this is exactly the pure, unadulterated version you get. The detailed ingredient list contains exactly one single component, which is simply pasteurized sweet cream. You will find absolutely no added milk, no added water, 0 dangerous emulsifiers, and 0 artificial stabilizers in this particular package. The fat content strictly meets the high standard for premium butter, coming in at exactly 82%, and the product is clearly labeled as a premium extra creamy dairy item. This is a completely traditional, old-fashioned dairy product made simply from fresh cream, churned into solid butter, and packaged without any unnecessary processing steps. You can easily find it at both Walmart and Kroger, usually priced anywhere from $5 to $7 depending on the current weekly store promotions. It remains incredibly hard when kept cold in the fridge, becomes wonderfully aromatic once softened at room temperature, and tastes phenomenally clean on the palate. The second absolutely stellar product you should aggressively look for is Vital Farms pasture-raised butter with 82% fat. Vital Farms is an American dairy brand known nationwide for its incredibly rigorous production standards and ethical farming practices. The overall composition is brilliantly clean and perfectly simple, consisting solely of high-quality pasteurized cream. The total milk fat content stands proudly at exactly 82%, proving its undeniable value. This particular butter comes directly from trusted family farms right here in the United States, maintaining incredibly consistent, top-tier quality in absolutely every single batch. During the peak grass grazing seasons, this butter frequently develops a beautifully deep yellow color and a noticeably richer, more robust flavor profile. This is a prime example of exactly how real, authentic butter should behave in your everyday kitchen. It holds its shape firmly when cold, melts perfectly clean when heated in a frying pan, and possesses a wonderful, natural, milky aroma. It generally costs around $6 to $8, which accurately reflects the true cost of using exclusively premium cream without any cheap dilution or sneaky corporate modifications. Let us summarize this vital information very clearly for your next grocery shopping trip. You must aggressively avoid Great Value butter spread, Target's Good and Gather butter with added milk, and Kroger's cheap dairy blend. You should also leave behind absolutely any single product labeled as butter that contains anything less than 82% milk fat. Instead, always actively choose Tillamook Extra Creamy Butter at 82% or Vital Farms Pasture Raised Butter at 82%. Giant American supermarkets will absolutely continue to sell these cheap dairy blends that masquerade as pure butter simply because they are significantly cheaper to mass produce and vastly more profitable. That harsh corporate reality is not going to change anytime soon, no matter how much we complain. However, what can completely change right now is your personal awareness while standing right there in front of the massive dairy aisle. Your health and the long-term health of your entire family fundamentally depends on actually understanding these confusing labels, rather than blindly trusting pretty marketing pictures. If this video helped you look at the grocery store shelf from a completely different perspective, please hit that subscribe button right now. I regularly publish these deep dive investigations, thoroughly analyzing everyday grocery items that most Americans simply assume are completely safe without ever checking them closely. In my very next episode, I will boldly expose the